Ladies and gentlemen, welcome here to the Pig and Whistle again for another year. A big thank you to Jack and Sarah for putting a wonderful spread on and taking control of the weather. There's also no jackhammers this year, which is fantastic, and the winds died down as well. What better place to have our launch for Football Brisbane than the home of football fans here in Brisbane, the Pig and Whistle on the Riverside. On behalf of the board, Glenn, Peter, Jitendra and our CEO Mike Crombie and myself, welcome along. Now, 4:37 p.m. this afternoon, I had a telephone call from Dominic Overton, who is the Queensland Business Manager for Coca-Cola Amatil. The last few weeks we've been having discussions around them supporting women's sport around the state. They are very, very keen to support women's football, and I was glad to hear this afternoon that that phone call was to confirm that one of their key brands, Mount Franklin, will now be the official naming partner for the Brisbane Women's Premier League for this year. So a big round of applause to Coca-Cola Amatil and Mount Franklin.
And we've got a restructure of the Women's League.
We do, and a new sponsor, of course, as well, in Mount Franklin. So we go from 9 to 12 Premier League clubs, and now with the addition, as Bossy touched on, the Capital League one as well.
And it all kicks off Friday night with the Westfield FFA Cup qualifiers.
One of my favourite competitions. Love the Westfield FFA Cup, of course. Congratulations to Lions last year that made the last 16. And we're going to see the debut of some clubs on Friday night amongst the Capital 4 ranks in Caboolture. Well, they won't be playing Friday night, but St George Willawong, Logan Metro, etc. over the weekend. Bumper round, 42 teams, 21 games. Should be great.
I'm off to Virginia.
Well, Anthony, we've already touched on it that the competition's going to have a bit of a different feel to it this year with new clubs on board, a new structure. Has that made preparations just a little bit more difficult?
No, we're just worrying about our own preparations. We know the competition's going to be fantastic. There were no easy beats last year, but I think this year's competition is going to be much stronger. I think every team has improved, so we're just worrying about ourselves, and hopefully if we prepare as well as we can, the rest will take care of itself.
Talk about worrying about yourselves. You won the Elaine Watson Cup. You won the grand final. There was a piece missing last year. Has that provided any extra motivation for the girls this year?
Oh, no, not really. We had a great year last year, and Logan thoroughly deserved their premiership. So we're not going to take anything away from them. We had a great year, but we've got a new squad this year. We've got a few new players, so we're going to set new goals and start from scratch.
I was just going to ask you about that, Gemma. Does the team set targets for the season?
Yeah, look, I think every team sets targets, and we did set some targets in-house. So, yeah, hopefully we'll go far in achieving those. But I guess the main goal at Annalee is just to have fun, and when we have fun, we do well. So that's probably number one target.
Tell us about being captain of the club and being a goalkeeper at the same time. Did the players listen to you? Do you have to yell and scream to get them to even hear what you're saying?
Yeah, look, I think every goalkeeper faces the yelling and screaming, but there's plenty of time to talk about a game plan, at training, before the game, at half-time. So, I wouldn't be surprised if some of the players tune out, but no, it's pretty good.
Well, good luck for the season.
It was a tight race in the competition last year. The club just missed out on the top 4. Have you been working on anything in particular in the off-season to try and make you get up to that next step?
Everything. A total improvement. And that's what we hope to achieve this year, improve and play some good football.
Got a tricky first-up test against Toowong, who will be all the better after a year in last year's Premier League. What do you make of them going into round 1?
Well, I endorse what Annalee said. I think you'll find this year that this competition will be extremely competitive. Every opponent is to be respected, and it's on the day.
The club took the step up last year into the Brisbane Women's Premier League. How have the club been in supporting you girls?
I've been around women's football for a very long time, and as far as women's football goes, Capalaba are doing everything right, from the juniors all the way to seniors. They've got some great advocates for women's football at the club, and they treat us like footballers, and you don't always get that, so having that kind of professional environment that they've created is it's going to make us very successful in the future.
And what steps do you need to take this season to take that step up?
I think we just all need to get on the same page with our playing style. We've got a bit of depth in the team. We've got older players, some experience, new people to the club. We've got some younger girls that have been developed through the club. So we kind of just need to learn, I guess, to get a bit more consistent as a team and to play that style that Malcolm's trying to get us to play.
Thank you, Joe. Good luck with the season.
Thanks very much, Capalaba. Well, Jeff, East have always been a proud club in women's football. Top 4 last year. Is the obvious goal to try and threaten for that premiership this year?
Most definitely. I think we've got such a huge squad to choose from. The women's program over at East is flourishing at the moment. The club really looks after the women's program, so definitely aiming for those top couple of spots, if not top.
It's not going to be an easy start for you in the first 3 games to open up. You're up against Peninsula, the Gap, and then the reigning premiers in Logan.
Yeah, not an easy start to 2016, but if you want to be the best, you've got to beat the best. So we're up for it and we're looking forward to them.
Mel, the top 4 was so tight last season. 4 points between the top 4 teams. What's going to make the difference for you guys this year?
I think the 20s that we've brought into our squad, we've got a big squad this year, so we can move players. So I think the young and up and coming girls will do it for us.
And what impact do you think the restructure will have on the competition?
I think as long as teams are fielding, clubs are fielding teams, then I don't think it'll have too much of an issue on it.
Very good. There's always plenty of depth at East. All right, good luck for the season.
Thanks very much, Eastern Suburbs. All the best for the season ahead. Well, Jimmy, this time last year you were the new kids on the block, but of course went on to win the premiership. You're going to have a bit of a target on your backs this year, aren't you?
Yeah, well, that's fine. It's expected when you win the league, but no one rated us early last year, so I expect the same this year.
And you've got a first-up match against Olympic, who, of course, back in the competition. Have you been able to get a bit of a gauge on what you might expect in round 1?
Not really. I'm not really worried about any other side. I'm worried about how we go about things, and as long as we play our football, we'll be fine.
Tian, last time we saw each other was at the gala evening. You won Player of the Season. You won the Golden Boot. What are your memories of the night?
It was a good night. Football Brisbane put on a good show, and yeah, we all enjoyed the night, and it was a good night.
Where's your trophies right now?
They're sitting in my bedroom on my cupboard, just on the ledge.
Pride of place?
It's just where I can see them.
And do you think you can repeat your efforts this year?
I mean, I'll give it a go. It's going to be a bit of a tough challenge to follow up, but anything's possible.
Good luck with it all. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks very much, Logan Lightning. How are you, Zoe? I've heard you've strengthened the squad this year and you've had a few decent results during pre-season.
Oh, you can never tell anything about pre-season, but we've definitely strengthened. I think we underperformed last year, but we had a lot of injuries, so we strengthened pretty much all across the park, which is good. I think we had a good result against Capalaba, but it was a rainy night. Anything happened.
First up, you're up against South, and with the machinations that have happened in the off-season, they're going to be a completely different proposition to last year.
We have no idea what we're going to be facing with South. They're a fantastic women's club, so it'll be very interesting to see what team they put out.
Katie, tell us about the club and the players in the off-season. Do you guys socialise? Do you mix? Do you all keep in touch with each other?
Yeah, we do socialise quite a bit. Pretty much parties, but we do socialise a lot.
Your defence was pretty good last year. It was just scoring goals that was an issue. Have you addressed that?
Yeah, we definitely have. We've got quite a few. We've picked up some strikers, so we're scoring quite a few goals this pre-season. So yeah, looking forward to it.
Well, hopefully the goals keep flowing. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Mitchie. Well, Neville, Olympic back in the Brisbane Women's Premier League realm, now the Mount Franklin Brisbane Women's Premier League. What have your preparations been so far in the pre-season?
It's been fairly strong. We've started our pre-season just before Christmas. Got a good young squad, so it's been pretty good.
And as we mentioned before with Logan, you're not going to get too many tougher tests first up than against last year's premiers.
Look, we expect to be challenged all the way through, and we'll be competitive, that's for sure.
Dom, tell us a little bit about your team.
Basically, we're like a really young team, 16, 17-year-olds coming through from the under-20s NPL. So, yeah.
Do you know anything about your opposition?
We've watched a few games. We've seen a few clubs that are pretty strong built, but I reckon we have a slight chance. Yeah.
So going into it with a lot of confidence and free spirit.
Yeah, pretty much.
Good luck with it.
Thanks very much, Olympic. Well, Jamie, with the restructure, there's been a bit of speculation about how clubs might set up their squads. What's been Peninsula's approach in setting up your squad?
We've got a few senior players that have been at the club for a few years. Basically, we've built a team that win football matches. We're not here to muck around. We want to win trophies. So.
And your first match is against East, who were top 4 last year. Have you been able to assess what you might expect?
We expect the same thing out of East. So every season they got strong squads over there. They've been pretty good for the last 5, 6, 7 years with their women's program. So we aim to do what we can against them.
Brittany, you played NPL last season. What are you looking forward to in the Mount Franklin Brisbane Women's Premier League?
Well, we've kept the majority of our team from our NPL season, so it's really just about playing as a squad and just getting results.
And what features of the team, what can we look forward from your side?
Definitely, our positive is our attack, and we're really just going to push that. Our football is just going to get better and better as we go through the season. So unfortunately, we started off slow with our pre-seasons, but it's just going to get better.
I'm sure we'll see you on the score sheet many times. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Peninsula Power. Ben, 4th placed last year. You'll be another club wanting to climb another few rungs up the ladder.
Hopefully, yeah. Top 4 was an aim of ours last year, but we wouldn't mind going higher this year. Yeah, definitely.
And of course, your club has been hosting the Invitational pre-season tournament. What have you made of your performances so far?
Well, we haven't won a game yet, but no, we've been okay. We've been a bit scratchy, but we're sort of building towards round 1 where we've got to play Annalee. So we know it's a tough road ahead, so that's what we're building towards.
Ben, you didn't put the target on anyone's back. Interesting. You don't have a microphone. Erin, you came 4th last season in a very close contest, and now you've got Olympic and the Gap coming back. Does that fill you with dread?
No, not at all. We've been putting in a big pre-season. We'll be there to win. So,
where do the Pythons need to improve to make a dent this season?
Coaching. I'm not too sure.
He's been off doing his C badges anyway, I think. So, yeah.
He's putting in the yards. So.
Very good. Well, hopefully that'll make a difference on the field. Good luck.
Thanks very much, Pine Hills. Well, we touched on it before that South will probably have a bit of a different lineup to last year. How have the preparations been going in the pre-season so far?
The preparations have been going fantastic so far. We had fantastic support from the club, and we believe we'll do very well this year.
First match against Mitchell, we heard from Zoe before that they're not really knowing what to expect. Do you know what to expect of them?
No, I don't.
I guess it will be important to get off to a good start this year, considering the ramifications if you finish down towards the bottom end of the table.
I was told by our president not to mention the war.
Okay.
Sarah, tell us about the player's perspective. Gary's new to the club. What's he brought?
Gary has brought a lot of credibility to the club, and he has a lot of experience, which has helped us girls. Not only just my team, but all of the women's.
Just personally, do you like playing on the synthetic pitch or the grass?
I love the synthetic pitch. The ball just runs so smoothly along it, and it stays in, and you can play in all weather.
Do you think that'll be an advantage for you this year?
Most definitely.
South's the home team. Good luck this year.
Thanks very much, South United. Well, and you like a number of clubs out there, the Gap has had a proud history in women's football. back in the Mount Franklin Premier League will be keen to replicate the success of the NPL side from last year?
That's a hard ask because they're a very good side, our NPL team. But look, we're just approaching it. We've the same as a couple other clubs. We've moved our under-20s into the BWPL, and that's what we're looking at. It's just a purely development league for us. We hope to do well in there, but all the other teams are very strong. Rob Askew knows them all very well, so we're under no illusion. It's going to be tough, but we've got confidence in the girls, so things are looking good.
And it really does start tough right from the very start. You're up against UQFC and then against two of the top 4 teams in Eastern Annerley from last year.
Well, I think somebody said it before, if you want to win the league, you've got to beat every other team, so you may as well start with the first round. So we'll see how we go.
Brooke, welcome back to the Mount Franklin Brisbane Women's Premier League. We've got to get used to that, Rafe. Tell us about the Gap. How do they produce so many quality players?
Yeah, well, we have a great family culture at the Gap. It's great to be able to train with the NPL Open teams. There's a great bunch of players, so yeah, it's good fun.
And personally, which teams are you looking forward to playing this year?
Well, we always have good battles against teams like East and UQ, but there's also a few teams we don't know very well, so like Logan, Capalaba. It'll be interesting to see how we go.
Should be some ding-dong battles. Good luck with it all.
Thanks very much, The Gap. All the best for the season ahead. Club's first year in the Premier League last year. What lessons did you take away from 2015?
Stepping up from the city leagues, it was a bit of a challenge for some of the players to adapt to the pace and the athleticism of some of the other players and teams we play. But overall, getting that structure together and getting a system in play, I think they adapted really well and really quickly and really developed well throughout the season.
It's been a common link in the interviews we've done so far. No one's definitely underestimating each other, but probably more important than any other year to get off to a good start with relegation in play for the bottom 4 teams.
Yeah, this year our fixtures look good for the first 6 or 7 games, and we've added a lot of players to the team and from abroad and from local clubs, and it's going to be a good season, a good start. Will obviously benefit the girls and get confidence from last year and continue to develop with the hard work they're putting in pre-season, and the intensity is really good. So we're expecting to hit the ground running and really start with hopefully a win and move on from there.
Keely, give us your perspective on last season. Was it tough? Was it enjoyable?
Personally, it was an interesting season as a goalkeeper, and the for and against numbers kind of stood for themselves. But as a team and a culture, I think we really evolved throughout the season, and I'm really looking forward to this one.
And what's a pass mark for you guys? Is it all about survival, or you think you can go a bit higher?
Might as well go for it, right? Top 4, let's do it.
Good luck with it all.
Thanks very much, Toowong FC. Well, Gianni, you've taken over from Rick Wiley, new in charge of the side this year. What's been your focus during the pre-season preparations?
I guess we've had a lot of new players in, particularly from the NPL under-20s, so just sort of integrating them with the older players that have come back from last year.
And you're another club that has a very tough opening up against 3 of last year's top 4 sides before the Easter break.
Yeah, it'll be... we always seem to have a tough start, and we'll just try our best to, I guess, put in good competition in those first few weeks and then consolidate from there.
Giovanna, I understand that UQ have plans to build a synthetic pitch, just like Souths. You've played at Souths?
Yeah, I played there last year.
Does that excite you, these plans?
Look, I look forward to the challenge. I think adjusting to the bounce and the friction on the pitch is a little bit different, but I think giving UQ the opportunity to train on a synthetic field gives us an advantage going into Souths.
And has there been much turnover in your side this year?
I think being a university-based team, there's always turnover with international players coming and going. But what we've fostered over the last couple of years is the younger players coming up through the under-15s and under-20 leagues, and taking those girls to the next level is really exciting for us.
Good luck with it all.
Thanks very much, UQFC, and thanks very much to all 12 clubs in the Mount Franklin Brisbane Women's Premier League this year. Best wishes, and hope it's a successful season for all of you.